Hello world, Bettina Carey here, broadcasting live from It's a Small World After All, and we're all in this together. And I'm here today to have a conversation with one of my favorite human beings in the entire world. She gives the most awesome hugs ever, I have to say. I'm here with Debrena Jackson-Gandy. Welcome, Debrena.
Hello, good to be back with you, Bettina. Woo!
It's going to be so much fun, so much fun. So I wanted to introduce you more formally just because you have such an amazing background. So let me start off by saying that Debrena is a Master Manifestress. That's a mouthful, would you say? She's a juicy woman, a successful six-figure business owner, national best-selling author of 3 books, master life coach, mentee of 13 leading women, international traveler, and popular podcast, radio, and TV show expert. I'm excited to have you here today and also to have you at the Women's Empowerment Summit, where your topic is going to be 3 secrets of a Master Manifestress. Why this topic, Debrena?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Why this topic?
Woo! Well, you know, I could have so many wonderful topics I could have chosen for your awesome event, but I decided that, you know, as I look back over my life, I have just been so fortunate and so blessed to really manifest a life that is a reflection of my heart's desires. When I look back at journals and journal entries and I write and I, you know, look at what I've written down about how I want my life to be, every area of it, whether it's business, whether it's body, whether it's money, whether it's parenting, whether it's marriage, whether it's friendships, travel, I have been fortunate to manifest the desires of my heart in every single area of my life. And I don't take it for granted because I know that many of us might have it on point in one area and then the other area is out of balance or isn't quite aligned, or we might get it in 80% of the area, but then 20% isn't cooperating. So to have my entire life be a reflection of my highest and best vision for my life and my heart's desires, I think it's worthy of sharing. Well, what goes on behind the scenes and what's the process? What are the principles I live by, where that can happen for more and more and more people that desire it for themselves, because it's not personal to me. So that's why I chose the topic of manifestation. It kind of is a foundational principle that can express itself in any area of our life.
Right, right. And you're a powerful creator and manifestress. I love that word for you. And we are all manifesting,
Can you
right?
tell?
I know. So we're all manifesting continuously, and you're manifesting a juicy and prosperous life. So why do folks manifest sometimes what they don't want, and how do they turn that around to manifest what they do want?
Right. Well, one of, you know, this has been an area, I should say first, that I've been very fascinated by. My self-development, spiritual development journey really began very intentionally right around 1990, 92, right in there. And that was when I relocated back to Washington State after college, and I decided to live here in Seattle instead of the smaller town where I grew up in the state. And that really marked a new leaf, turning a new leaf in my life, where I really wanted to explore the non-visible spiritual domain more deeply. You know, in this country, with materialism being one of our foundational ideologies, we're pretty preoccupied and obsessed with what we can take in with our 5 senses. But what form was it in before it showed up in this 3-dimensional world that we can take in with our 5 senses? And how does it move from being an idea or a vision or a concept to being something you can see or hold or point to? And so, so in those observations, I really wanted to get clear about, so when we manifest what we do want, because I don't even use the word failure in my life, even though I know there's a lot of positive psychology about failure and fail forward and all that kind of thing. But to me, that means you got an outcome that you didn't desire. So you still manifested, and there was a process behind it that brought you to that particular outcome. So if I could be more aware of, well, what are the principles that support manifesting what you want, and what's the process and the muscle conditioning, so to speak, that has you manifest what you want the majority of the time, and not what you want is a rare occurrence. And so so many of us are not aware of the principles, which are always undergirded by a certain set of beliefs, and then the process. So if you have a process, that means there's a certain number of steps, and it means it's in a certain particular sequence. And if you get things out of sequence, you can mismanifest. If you're not operating from the principles that support manifesting your heart's desire, you can get a very different outcome. So those are two of the main reasons. And then there's also kind of subsets of that, like really truly being worthy and deserving. And that can show up for women, especially around in business when it comes to money. And so we can say we desire something, it might be written in our annual plan, our strategic plan for the year, but then we're really exceeding our own deservingness threshold unknowingly, unconsciously. And so we will always keep earning money or netting profit around what our prosperity threshold can handle. So a lot of times our beliefs are a little smaller, or too constrictive, or too limiting, or they're old, or they're damaging, or they're outdated, or they're too cramped for what we say we would like to have in our lives. And we don't have a lot of conversation about the beliefs beneath the behavior, or the beliefs that are quietly operating in us and through us. And so in the manifestation process that I talk about, that is looked at, because if your beliefs are too small, they will always look to be made right.
Yeah. And, we didn't talk about this earlier, but I know that women can relate to the self-saboteur inside that can be operating as well. Do you have any comments that you can make about that?
Well, even with self-sabotage, that's still grounded in some particular ideas that have become beliefs that we have about ourselves or about life. Now, the kind of summary description we give that is self-sabotage, but that really is the effect. The cause are the beliefs that we're operating from, and beliefs operate like our human software. So the same way this computer that we're on is being powered by software, we have software powered by our beliefs, and then the thoughts that arise from those beliefs. But we don't often stop to unearth them or uncover them or address them. And I know that for a fact because in a lot of my coaching work, and I've now worked with literally thousands of people now as a master coach, my transformational coaching is based very much in belief work. And my courses and even my love relationships teachings, all of them include belief work. And what I mean by that is actually getting to the beliefs that are powering and running our lives, behind our behavior, behind our feelings, looking out from behind our eyeballs and really have the steering wheel in our lives. And most of us are completely unaware of the beliefs we're operating from. And how I know is when I ask people to articulate the beliefs, they usually explain reasons, justifications, the effects. But getting to the beliefs is not that easy. That's not where we hang out a lot, looking at cause and roots of things and underlying of things. We look at what's visible, what shows up, and we're very obsessed with behavior and action in this country. And so, so as I talk about manifestation, the conversation about beliefs is part of that, because that is one of the main sabotaging factors in manifestation.
I'm so excited that you're going to be here at the Women's Empowerment Summit on June the 10th. We're going from 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and folks are going to be really thrilled with your topic. So I can't wait for you to be there, and I want you to just share a little bit of your experience of attending as a speaker, as a keynoter at other summits that were live and other events that you spoke at over the years with the women's
Well,
empowerment.
if I can just take a little liberty here, I just want to really talk about how awesome it is to do things with the Bettina Carey. Because, you know, over the years, people can shift attention, shift focus, get on a different horse, ride off in a different direction, businesses close down. Oh, that's what I was doing 10 years ago, but not anymore. But with you, you have been so consistent in your passion and commitment to empowering women and women business owners. Every endeavor you've had, whether it's writing books or a product or service or a new event, it always, always, always is points back to empowering women. And so, and because of that, because you've been in this vein for so long, you know some of the most awesome women. And I'm just glad to be in the number because you know so many incredible women. So what folks can count on is that you are bringing the best of your best, and you have a lot of best, and that's why you're even able to do such a full day of programming. Most people don't know enough amazing people to do a half a day, but you're doing 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. So it's almost like the most delectable personal growth, business development, self-development meal you could give yourself. And so I just want to say that first. And then secondly, out of all of these amazing topics that are going to be discussed, I decided to talk about the 3 secrets of a master manifestress and share from my life, you know, what are the principles that I live and operate from. And you often don't know the principles people live from, you just see them living and doing what they do. So I'm really gonna crystallize those as it relates to manifestation, and also share the process, right? Because I mentioned, do you know the steps? Do you know the process? We often get both of those things twisted up. And then I'm also going to share a few techniques and tools that are a very real part of my life and have been woven into the fabric of my life for a good 20 years. And I believe that they have a lot to do with the intentional life that I've been able to manifest for myself. So I'll be giving a little insight into those things in kind of short order, that I'm going to try to get those 3 secrets in, and also share a few of those tools and techniques that are and were a part of my life.
Oh, I can't wait for you to do what you're going to do. You are a true treasure to the planet, and you are one of my most favorite people in the world. I can't imagine even doing a summit without you, to tell you the truth. So I'm so glad that a year ago, when I mentioned this in March of last year, that you were interested in coming back into the summit world. Yes, it was that long ago. Thank you so much. I want to have folks learn a little bit about you, share your website, share what's coming up for you this summer. I know you're working less and
making more.
Making more. I mean, what more can you ask for, right?
Yeah.
Well,
oh, did you want me to share that?
How can people get in touch with you? Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So all things Debrena Grand Central would be my website, $1,000,000mentor.net, $1,000,000mentor.net. And all of my courses and offerings right now are actually full and sold out. But I do have a very special new thing coming up in the next few weeks called Sacred Self-Care Club, a new project that I'm launching, and women can definitely go to $1,000,000mentor.net and sign up for the waiting list so that they can be one of the first to find out the details. And also on my site, I also wanted women to actually have some free goodies that they could get from visiting my site. So there's a section called Gifts of Gratitude that has some wonderful free yummy stuff that women can get. but doing a lot of higher level transformational work right now with leading women and women that have their own communities and tribes and organizations, and so really loving that, and continuing to mentor the 13 women that have, you know, asked me to speak wisdom into their lives, and so and doing a lot less, as you mentioned, and having a lot more space in my calendar is one of my new commitments as we come out of this season and move into the next. I will be keeping my activity level at 25% of what it was, yet being committed to my revenue doubling. And I'm on track.
It's certainly possible. You're a total manifestress. I know that's possible. So thank you so much for joining me here today. It's a small world after all. We're all in this together. Sign up to the Women's Empowerment Summit by visiting the women'sempowermentsummit.com or womensmarketplace.com. And also, if you want to be on our mailing list, go to text us at 555-888 and put in the comment section the word women. Again, Bettina Carey signing off. It's been wonderful.